Hello guys, welcome to the Blender tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to create a table, cloth, apples inside the basket, grapes and finally knife. So in order to create these stuff we are going to put a tutorial part by part. So in this first tutorial we are going to create a table and cloth simulation. So first we have to create a mesh plane for the ground floor surface. So I'm going to delete this cube and create a mesh plane and I scale it up. Okay, nice. I'm going to brush 1. Okay, I'm just assumption is x-axis is the floor. Started great line. Okay, now we will create a table model. Okay, I'm going to create a mesh cube. Yeah, it's very big. It's okay. I'm going to scale it down. I'm going to scale it in y-axis and x-axis too. Then the table has to be very thin, so I'm going to make it thin. Okay, now almost we created a table part. First we have to create the leg part. Hide this plane because now we don't want this. Okay, now it's look nice. I'm going to edit mode. Now I'm going to loop cut in 4th side because I want to create a leg. Use Ctrl R2 plus loop cut.
Take me back to an age when the world felt small.
Now I'm selecting these faces to extrude in Z-axis to make a leg. So I'm going to extrude, press E to extrude to make a leg. Wow, it's look nice. Then again you need to extrude because we are going to create some bush in under the table or foot. So again I'm going to loop cut and slightly make a size upward. Do it this for all the leg part in the table.
I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one.
Yeah, it's now completely, our table will be finished. Now just go to object mode, you will see. So make it smooth. Oh, it's very smooth. It's on. Sorry. Yeah, it's look nice. So now I'm going to use a subdivision modifier to make it look like a perfect table. Yeah, so I'm going to add subdivision and make the levels view to 3. Now we are going to add a cloth. So I'm going to create a mesh plane and make it size larger than the table. Now go to edit mode and click the subdivide and make the number of cuts to 1024 to make a cloth simulation look very smooth and realistic. Yeah, now it's great. Now go to the physics tab, add cloth and scroll down. Yeah, click the collision drop down and checkbox the self collision. Yeah, it's great. Make some frictions if you want. Okay, likewise for the table, create a collision, then apply the subdivision modifier. Yeah, it's nice. Now just play it. You will see the easy cloth on the table.
Considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die.
Now we are going to add a texture. So move on to shading tab and click the cloth and press new. Yeah, I have the material texture of the cloth and I downloaded in the texturecad.com. You can check it out in the website. So I'm going to input the texture. Yeah, and I'm going to connect it to the base color. Yeah, it's look nice. Now likewise I'm going to add a AO texture. So for this I'm going to add a mix color. So go to color, add a mix color
and we're going to add two colors in one node and change the mix type to multiply. Then for the table, can simply add a metallic texture of brown. That's your wish. I'm going to add brown and go to render mode. You can see in EV, so change it to the cycles and GPU compute. So this is it, guys. We need to add a lightning once we set all the stuffs. So thank you for this tutorial, and we will upload apple and basket in next video. So guys, in this tutorial we are going to create a bunch of apples that gonna to fall down on the table. So to do that, create a mesh sphere. Yeah, it's too big. Just scale it down like apple size. Then move on to edit tab and just click first two layer of the faces in bottom and top. Then scale it in z-axis inwards to like a apple shape. Yeah, this sphere look like an apple. We need to add some randomized shape in the sphere. So in order to do that, I'm going to do in proportional editing and add some faces and just scale it size upwards and downwards to make a randomized size, and turn on to the object mode and set smooth. Now again go to the edit tab, because now we are going to create a small stem. So just click the first layer faces and insert it like a small stem want to create, right? So do according to that and just extrude in z-axis upwards. Yeah, it's almost create a stem, but it's in a very linear direction. So in order to add some rotates, I'm going to add some loop cuts and just rotate some layer to make a stem as to be randomized shape. Yeah, that's cool. Now come to object mode. Yeah, great one. Apple is ready. Now we have to give some textures to the apple. I'm moving on to the shading tab. Then I'm going to add a new material and I'm turning to the material view, add new material. Likewise did in a texture, so I am take the texture in the texturecam.com. You can check it on the website. In that I'm going to add a apple texture. Likewise I'm going to connect the color to beige color. Then I need to add AO texture to look realistic, so add AO texture, and to connect two nodes in one color we are going to add a color RGB mix, and that one has to be changed to multiply. It's look okay, so we need to add a roughness. So I am going to add the roughness texture and map it to the roughness and add some metallic to look nice. For stem, create only the stem layer and add the material and make some metallic to stem color and add it. Then move on to the shading tab. We are going to add a bunch of apples and falling down on the table. So click the apple and add a rigid body in physics tab and make the shape to mesh. Yeah, likewise click the table, add rigid body and type has to be passive. Then just you play it, the apple will fall down on the table. Yeah, now we created an apple is falling on the table, but here only one apple is there, so we need to duplicate them. So duplicate a bunch of apples. How many apples you want, you can duplicate it and play the animation. You will see the magic.
Felt small, way back before we blew it all.
So this is all about this video, guys, and next tutorial we will see that how to create a basket and put the apples inside it.
Hey dude, in this tutorial we are going to create a basket for the apples. So we are only concentrating in the basket. So I am going to hide all these objects. Now I am going to select all and press H to hide them. Okay, great. Now we are going to create a basket. So here is my cursor. I'm going to click Shift A, Mesh, and it's cube. Then I'm going to add the subdivision modifier. So I'm going to the modifier tab and add modifier and search for the subdivision modifier. Yeah. Then I'm going to view the levels to 2. Then I'm going to the edit mode and let's make the view level 3 and delete the up layer fish. Click X to delete the fish. Yeah. Then click the vertices option and just select the first layer and press G Z minus 0.9. Now it's look like an basket shape, but we have to add a model of curves. So for that I'm going to add a curve. So Shift A, in curve, just scroll down, you will see the knots and click the Celtic links. Yeah, this is. Now we got the basket model shape. So I'm going to change the bevel depth to 0.02 and wave up to 0.02 and wave down to minus 0.02. It's cool. Now we are getting a curve object of basket properly. So just scale it down to look like an basket shape. Okay, great. Now for the basket, turn the curve object to mesh. So in order to do that, just click the basket and right click, convert to mesh. Yeah. Now move on to edit tab. You will see a geometry of mesh. Yeah, this is it. Then we can add the rigid body now and change the type to passive and change the shape to mesh. For the apples, we are going to select the objects and change the shape to mesh. It's red. So friction, I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay, cool. And place the apples correctly, which was inside to the basket. Then if you play the animation, it will be located in the basket. And do you want more apples to be done in the basket? You can duplicate them. Yeah, cool. Now we are going to add texture. So moving on to shading tab, then click the basket object. Now click the new material. In this I am going to add the texture, which was I am get from texturecan.com, a basket texture. So I'm going to input that texture and connect it to the base color. Likewise, I am adding a Evo texture and going to add a color RGB mix and connect 2 nodes in one and going to change the type of mix to multiply. So I want to make look more realistic, so I'm going to add the roughness texture and normal texture too. Normal texture, I am going to add the vector map normal and connect it to it. Yeah, cool. It's now look like very realistic. Now we are going to turn on to render mode and we'll see the realistic of the basket. Yeah, it's looking like a realistic basket. Cool. Now on the next video we are going to create grapes. Hey guys, in this tutorial part we are going to create a model for grapes. So we are only focusing on to create a modeling on the grapes. So I'm going to hide this all the stuffs and I'm going to start it.
First we need to create a stem, so I'm going to create a mesh cylinder, yeah, and make it a radius a little bit small as 0.05. yeah, is this okay now? Then move on to edit tab, and before that lightly you want make it a scale down, yeah, great. Now move on to edit tab and add some loop cuts. Yeah, I just cut 4 loops and click the face and have some rotate. To do that you can easily turn the mode into wireframe and rotate it to make like a randomized stem model. Yeah, this is nice. Okay, great. Now just scale it a little bit down and then rotate with the y-axis to make a randomized model stem, and duplicate it, then rotate it and attach to the main root of the stem. So do like this for 1 to 2 times or 3 times.
Way back before we blew it all, take me back to a place where I felt.
Then select first 2 layer of the faces and just scale it down to make some bunchy effect, like a small and big faces there, so it looks like a realistic stem. So do that.
Yeah, I need a couple friends. I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel it's tense. Don't know.
Shade auto smooth, that's fine. Now our stem is ready, our stem is created. Then we need to create a grape, so I'm going to do with an icosphere. Yeah, absolutely, it's too big. I'm going to scale down, and modeling for the grape, just add a modifier for that, a subdivision surface, and make it a level view to 2. Then go on to the edit mode and just click the top of the faces and extrude it in z-axis input to make a grape model, and add some inside faces and again extrude in z-axis and make it the top of the grape very lean, and add the randomized size to it.
A day when we weren't alone, take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before.
Then we are going to add a material, so moving on to the shading tab and material view. First we are going to create a grape texture, so for that I'm going to add some noise texture, so search it for it and add a noise texture. And to have some gradient color, I'm using the color ramp and connect it to the fact to fact and color to base color. Yeah, great. Then change the black and white color to the green color. The noise texture will be seen thoroughly. It's look a little bit bunchy, so make it a size better. Yeah, it's look like a grape now. So then change the color. I'm going to make my grape to the green color. There will be in black, so you choose what you want to have it. Yeah, this will be look nice in texture. Then add some defaultness and details, roughness, scales to make a grape realistic. Yeah. Then for the stem, just add a color of brown and add metallic and choose the roughness to it, so it's look like a great thing. Then we need to add a grapes to the stem. For that I'm going to the particle system and add the new particle system and change it into hair. Wow. Just minimize the hair length. I just keep at 0.1. yeah. Then instead of hair I want my particle, so open the render and change to the object and click the icosphere which we created for the grapes, or else use the pin drop to add it. Yeah, it's now added, but it's looking very tiny. So for that I am going to increase my hair length and do some randomized things. So just play around with these options and make the grapes. Now we created a grapes, so I need a more grapes, so I'm going to duplicate these grapes. I want to place this in a bowl to do with an UV sphere. Yeah, obviously it's too large, so I need to make it a little bit small, and I want to cut the half of the faces because I want a bowl, and then I am going to set smooth, and I want a little bit thicker, so I am going to add the modifier of solidify and have some thickness depending upon your feelings that bowl has, like look this. So then it's okay, great. I'm going to apply it, then moving on to the shading tab to give a classy morphism for this bowl. So add a new material and make some roughness to 0. Yeah, then metallic has to be like a gray with black, so I'm going to give that color and have some emission strength, and that also make it a gray with the color. Then go to the transmission and have some weight. Yeah, it's look great. Now turn on to the render mode, you will see the bowl. Yeah, we created a bowl, a glass morphism. So if you want, you can change it the color. I am going to make this color, and I want these grapes to make a bowl inside. So just place the grapes inside the bowl. So this is it, guys. We created a grapes and bowl. So next we are going to create a knife. Hey guys, we are coming to the last stage of the tutorial part. In this we are going to create a knife. So to do that, just create a mesh cylinder. Wow, it's too big, right? I'm going to change the radius to 0.08. Okay, then just rotate it in x-axis to 90 degree and again rotate it in y-axis to 90 degree. Sorry, z-axis to 90 degree. Yeah, great. Then just scale it down. Yeah, then we are going to create a knife handle, so design according to that. I'm just a little bit make it a scale it in z-axis bigger, and again I'm going to scale it in x-axis very smaller. Then I'm going to the wireframe mode, and then I'm going to extrude in x-axis to design a model of handle for the knife.
I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks
I want this repeated multiple times for the model. I'm going to add the modifier for array and move it into the z-axis, and I have some counts 2 or 3. Yeah, that's great. We created a handle. Now we are going to create a knife front part, a sharp edge part. Before that I'm going to create a cube with a started point. So I'm going to create a cube and make it that cube very thin and add some bevel to it.
I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel it's tense, don't know the.
Then again, to create a sharp edge, I'm going to create another cube and make it a very smaller and I am started to extrude to have the knife part in very sharp edges. So I am added to extrude in Z axis, yeah, and make it again extrude to make the curve very sharp. For that I'm going to merge it at center. Yeah, now it's look like a knife. Then I'm going to have some loop cuts and subdivided in faces to 3 to 4 times. To make a design, I'm going to delete some faces. Yeah, it's look great. Oh, our cube is very big. Make it thin to make a short for the knife. Yeah, our knife is ready, but it seems like a handle is bigger than the knife, so I make it sharp edges are bigger. So our knife is ready now. So I'm going to add the material. So moving on to shading and add material, I'm going to have a black and silver. For handle I'm going to add the black, add some metallic and add some roughness. Then for the knife part I'm going to add a silver edge. So for that I'm going to create a new material, add a silver color and add some metallic and roughness to it. Yeah, we created a knife. So we done our tutorial. In next we are going to create a lightning for this and render the model. So in this video we are going to set up the lightning for our model and render the image. So we have the sunlight now. So I'm going to click that sunlight. Then you see there will be a data tab. It's the symbol will be light. If you change the to spot, you can see only that spot have some lights. You see area, the area will be have that light. So I choose area and make it a size bigger and have some movement for the light effects and change the watt to 50. Okay, great. Now it's like lighting better. Then I'm going to have some camera view. So for that I'm going to click Ctrl Alt and 0. Yeah, I got the camera view. Then I want for the grapes also a greeny effect light. So for that I'm going to duplicate the light and place them just gap between the green grapes. Yeah, and rotate it and make. So change the color to green, you will see some greeny effect. Yeah, it's look realistic, a great lightning effect. Likewise we will add for the apple too.
Way back, let's go through it all. I know that things seem bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a greater curse, a greater thirst, a hunger, pain, and mercy. Just find whatever you got and try to be thankful first. I wanna feel again, I need it.
Now coming on to the shading tab, you will in the render mode, so it seems like very realistic. So I want to change a background little bit solid, so I'm move to world and change the background to a little bit gray. Yeah, now it's look nice.
Just the start of it, I wanna drive away so I can be.
Now we are going to render, so I'm going to in output, so sorry, render mode. I'm going to change the light path to fast global illumination because I want to be a render as fast, and then I open the sampling. You will see in render, so make the samples to 1024 depending upon your system to make the samples easy, and makes the light to uncheck box the light, so I don't want that. It seems like this light itself great. Then render the image. the samples will be loaded, you will create a nice model. Thank you for this video. Hope you will like this. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you.